Task number 4, using hashing for secure password storage. This task is part of the hashing basics room on TryHackMe. Using hashing to store passwords. This is where hashing comes in. What if instead of storing the password, you just store its hash value using a secure hashing function? This process means you never have to store the user's password. And if your database is leaked, an attacker will have to crack each password to find out what the password was. There's just one problem with this. What if two users have the same password? As a hash function will always turn the same input into the same output, you will store the same password hash for each user. That means if someone cracks that hash, they gain access to more than one account. It also means someone can create a rainbow table to break the hashes. A rainbow table is a lookup table of hashes to plain text, so you can quickly find out what password the user had just from the hash. A rainbow table trades the time to crack a hash for hard disk space, but it takes time to create. Here's a quick example or to get the idea of what a rainbow table looks like. We have the hash and then the password. Rainbow table is just check what matches for what word. Websites like Rackstation and hashes.com internally uses massive rainbow tables to provide fast password cracking for hashes without salts. Doing a lookup in a sorted list of hashes is quicker than trying to crack the hash. Protecting against rainbow tables. To protect against rainbow tables, we add a salt to the password. The salt is a randomly generated value stored in the database and should be unique to each user. In theory, you could use the same salt for all users, but duplicate passwords would still have the same hash, and a rainbow table could still be created for passwords with that salt. The salt is added to either the start or the end of the password before it's hashed. And it means that every user will have a different password hash, even if they have the same password. Hash functions like bcrypt and ascrypt handle this automatically. Salts don't need to be kept private. Example of securely storing passwords. You can find many good guides online that promote best security practices when storing passwords. Please check if there are any standards you need to follow when storing passwords before adopting one. Consider this example following good security practices when storing user passwords. We select a secure hash function such as argon2, ascrypt, bcrypt, or pbkdf2. We add a unique salt to the password, such as this one. Concatenate the password with the unique salt, so the plain text with this one. For example, if the password is this, then the result should be this, right? So in our case, we placed the hash at the end. Calculate the hash value of the combined password and salt. In this example, using the chosen algorithm, you need to calculate the hash value of this. Store the hash value and the unique salt used. Using encryption to store passwords. Consider the problem of saving passwords for authentication. Why don't we encrypt passwords instead of all these cumbersome steps? The reason is that even if we select a secure hashing algorithm to encrypt the passwords before storing them, we still need to store the used key. Consequently, if someone gets that key, they can easily decrypt all the passwords. Answer the questions below. Manually check the hash using the rainbow table above. So we copy this. And we just Ctrl+C, Ctrl+F and check it to see what will match. Insecure password. Crack this hash using an online tool. Let's see. Let's click this fun. This is super fun to click these and they never work. Okay, let's go over here. Show plain and salt in hex. Show algorithm of found. Yes. VVX 3 and Z and search and submit. It's MD5. TryHackMe. Should you encrypt passwords in password verification systems. Should you encrypt passwords? No, nay. All right, so we use this machine a lot. See you in task number 5.